We come in with this Fox News alert, and this has just happened with Senator Ted Cruz versus Donald Trump now. Cruz is daring Donald Trump to sue him over a campaign ad that's called Supreme Trust. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's 30 seconds. It takes a look at, from Cruz's supporters, his campaign, it takes a look at whether or not Donald Trump should be trusted to make big decisions, i.e. filling a spot of a justice, Antonin Scalia, or anyone else who might come along during a presidency. So that ad called Supreme Trust, and we'll turn that as soon as we can, but we want you to know exactly what was said. You know, I have to say to you, Mr. Trump, now I'm quoting Ted Cruz here, you have been threatening frivolous lawsuits for your entire adult life. Even in the annals of frivolous lawsuits, this takes the case. So, Donald, I would encourage you, if you want to file a lawsuit, file the lawsuit. Again, quoting Senator Ted Cruz. We may be able to show that to you within moments, but it was at a news conference in South Carolina. I mean, you get the gist. I read you verbatim exactly what he said. Chris, what are your thoughts at this point?
The ad looks like a perfectly legitimate...
We just watched it together.
We just watched the ad, and it looks like a perfectly run-of-the-mill campaign ad using a clip of Donald Trump years ago talking to Tim Russert at NBC about partial birth abortion. I'm sure Donald Trump doesn't like the ad. He takes some shots at Donald Trump in the ad. I'm not a lawyer, but it didn't look actionable to me.
Let me tell you what Trump initially said in response to that ad. He said, if he, referring to Cruz, doesn't take down his false ads and retract his lies, I'll file suit immediately. Additionally, I'll remind you what he said here, the RNC should intervene, and if they don't, they are in default of their pledge to me.
Oh, this again.
So this is Cruz saying, bring it on, right?
And also it's Donald Trump threatening to run as an independent, looking for another reason, stacking the audience at the debate in South Carolina. He said with anti-Trump people that he declared them to be in default. Then he signed the pledge saying he wouldn't run as an independent. But he's coming up with reasons why he might declare the RNC to be in default and why he might open the door to run as an independent.
So he's not suing over the ad. He's saying, if you don't take the ad down, I'm going to sue you over your citizenship.
Okay, so Donald Trump, via what Sandra just said, sent a cease and desist letter.
Okay.
Right. And so this is the response to that cease and desist, saying, look, you're threatening to do this. Go ahead and do it. You threaten all the time. What are your thoughts, Andrea?
This happens on campaigns all the time. I've worked on campaigns where you put up an ad and the opposing side has an issue with it and the campaign lawyers get involved. It depends. If you can't legally say the things that you're saying and you're in campaign election law violation, then you got to take it down. But Chris is right. This Cruz ad is completely fair. I don't see the issue with it at all. He makes fair points. He's using footage of Donald Trump in his own words. So I think that the ad should stay up. I mean, again, I'm not an attorney either, but to me, that's my sense.
So do you think he's getting bad legal advice, Trump?
Look, I think that he doesn't want the ad up there. Do I think it's going to matter? Politically, the question is, do voters in South Carolina, when they see the ad, do they look at that and say, you're right, we believe you, Ted Cruz, that Donald Trump will appoint maybe a liberal to the Supreme Court? And I have to say, because I called this fairly, this entire race, whether, I agree with the candidates or not, I think that they look at that and they go, Donald Trump's not going to nominate a liberal. He's going to be better than any Democrat, and he will be fair. They're not going to think that he's going to do something
real quickly,
off the wall.
Because I know people wonder, why don't they just play the ad in its entirety? We have something called a fair play, a fair use, and you can do that with certain video. But when it comes to campaign ads, you got to be careful, because then you've got to play the entirety of what it would be its opposite. At this point, I don't know exactly what that would be. This is a brand new ad. It obviously has hit some tender points with Donald Trump. So if should one come back, then you can play them side by side. Your thoughts?
Well, you got to keep in mind that Donald Trump is also in the process of painting Ted Cruz as dishonest and untrustworthy and as a liar. And if he accuses him of producing an ad that is dishonest, it's sort of part of that narrative.
And even if a Judge Harris comes back and says the ad can stay, Trump at least looks like he's not letting any attack go
and he's fighting.
responded to.
All right, equal time was what I was saying. We'll move on now. He was an American legal icon, Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. For years, one of the most influential and outspoken members of the nation's highest court. But a stunning new survey shows just how many Americans did not even know who he was. Stay with us.